You are welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, you're welcome. If this isn't your first time, you're equally welcome. So this looks like where we started off. We are doing Wiz Labs for the longest time because cloud security is the goal. And the first video I made about Wiz should be one. If you check the playlist, you see the very first video I made about Wiz. I explained the importance of Wiz, what Wiz is capable of doing. And basically, we're just starting off from where we stopped. The last time we made a video where we are able to check for buckets that have sensitive data, that have exposed to the internet, that have some exploit in them, some vulnerability, and what have you. But today we are going to continue from that, and that is that we are going to be creating an alias. Now, an alias, basically, right? I want to give like a school exam kind of all analogy about where what an alias and when to use an alias is. So let's say there's a big exam center with like many exam halls, right? Each hall is supposed to be independent. You get now the alias will just this is where the alias come in, right? Let's say as an invigilator or a supervisor, you walk in and say, I am invigilating Hall Hay or you're supervising Hall Hay. You have clearly defined what is your own responsibility, okay? That this all, you've made the declaration that this all is mine, meaning everything else is not mine. So alias what this is what Reese would check once you've now declared an alias. Alias is more like a self-declaration. This is what is mine. But Wiz would now check after you have made that declaration that show me any other student in all A that is holding the exam or the answer sheet for whole B. Do you understand what that means? When we get to our hands on, you would understand way, way better. And we're going to be starting from a fresh here, clean slate, no old queries. We're going to be starting from a fresh. And right now, our root criterion isn't even going to be virtual machine. It's going to be a subscription. But before we get to subscription, we go to a cloud resource, and we're going to be using subscription as our root criterion. So yeah, subscription is our root criterion. We can see the results, 248 results. Are you guys seeing this? Okay, so now the next thing we're going to be doing is to now connect our virtual machine to this. So close to the subscription here, we will now check for virtual machine. So basically, we are finding subscription that contains a virtual machine. Don't worry, the more we do this, the more we get used to it. I'm still, learning it myself, so we are learning together. The good thing about this is that we are learning together. So we are finding subscription that contains virtual machines, okay? And the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a secret finding. Right, we're just playing around basically. We're going to see how we can apply an alias, right? So close to the virtual machine, we're checking for secret finding, virtual machine that has sensitive data, right? Secret finding. Okay, so now close to the secret finding, we can now check for secret data. Okay, secret data, right? And we can now, close to the secret data, we can now check for a user data or user accounts. We're playing around, right? We're just playing around. And then, now that we've done this, we're going to add another subscription. All right. And to add another subscription, we'll come over here in this user account, right? Let's assume that we're finding subscription that contains a virtual machine that contains a secret finding that is an instance of a secret data and permits a user account. That user account would have a subscription, right? Subscription. Okay. We are close. And now that we've been able to do that, in the right side of this subscription, we're still going to add another filter. And now the filter would now have a subscription ID. All right. So close to this the subscription is the subscription ID. Okay. And in the option menu, right, we're selecting does not equal. All right. To the right. I'm guessing this is what they mean. To the right. Reference entity. We're picking an S1. Subscription is S1. Yeah. So I'm correct. That's good. So for reference entity property, you just have to still select subscription ID. And then we are good to go. You can see the result here. You can decide to add a query block if you want. You can see how big this is. You can come over here, click here and add a query block. But that is what you can do with an alias. You saw the results initially and this is what we have. Now, before I'm going to put an end to this video, I will show you how you can efficiently make a query. So I'll show you an efficient way and also an inefficient way to build a query. Mhm, mhm, mhm. And this one, we're going to be working with basically all virtual machines that have vulnerabilities, all of them. So you can just imagine mentally how much that is going to be. All right, so we're going to be starting from afresh in this an efficient way to build a query, right? Like I said, we're going to be working with every virtual machine that has right vulnerability. So I'll start with the inefficient way that you can do this. And the inefficient way is using a virtual machine as your root criterion. If you can afford it, please do. Because using a virtual machine with a root criterion, it is going to give you a result that is humongous. Right. So basically it's a simple fact. So the next thing you're looking for, so findings, right? Findings, okay, findings, and then your vulnerability, which is here. Click here. Vulnerability. Then you click vulnerability. Right now, look at the results. 10,000 plus. That is one inefficient way to do this. Now, using the same headline or the same lab title or whatever we like to call it, we are going to optimize this and you'll see the difference between them. All right. Now we're going to optimize. We're not going to be using virtual machine as our root folder, our root criterion. We don't even need to start from a fresh slate to be able to make that happen. Right here, it's something that we've already done. We can change the root criterion from virtual machine to, let's say, a vulnerability, right? So close to our vulnerability, we'll come here, right, and click this column visible icon and we can do what? We can do what? We order as a query root. We will order as a query root. So it says that first, search for vulnerabilities and then check if that vulnerability affects a virtual machine. And we can see, right, although the result is still 10,000 plus, but this is a more efficient way of, you know, working, right? Working with a query. okay, instead of always using a virtual machine every time. You can see that the vulnerability became the first and the virtual machine became the third. The results didn't change because I'm thinking that it's just the same both ways, right? Another thing you can also do is that you can add another filter. You can add another filter. It can be bored. You can see that the result is still 10,000. Now, another thing you can do is that close to findings, okay, we can add a filter and select the severity. Now, the severity can be equals to any of this, but let's just do critical, since critical is like, okay, what we're used to. So remember how we did this, right? It was initially virtual machine as a root criterion, but now it isn't. Vulnerability is now a root criterion. And we added another filter to make sure that the findings are critical. And we can see that the search results dropped from 10,000 plus to about 6,345. You can also proceed to check the one that has an internet exposure. So these things can further be reduced based on your filters. You know how to check that. You can just go over to the virtual machine and check for internet exposure, right? Let's just do that, okay? You can check for internet exposure, but let's check if internet exposure actually is there as internet. Oh, okay. So we can check for internet exposure. Voila, that search result is still going to drop from 6,000. You can see that 6,000 to 3,592, almost about a half. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. This is a lot that we can do. There's a lot of things we can do with Wiz, and really, I cannot wait to see the things that it is capable of doing. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I really don't know what else that you are waiting for, because right now it's going to be bye for now. But if you do, you're not just supporting this African girl to build a journey from zero to cyber shield and also landing a role. You're also helping out to make this more visible to other people that this can resonate with. This can also speak to them, help them out in anything that they're doing. It's a community, but I want us to be a community that we learn together. We're not throwing shades, we're just learning together. You can come in the comment section and let me know. You can just say, oh, I think we can do this way better. I think you can do this way better. And trust me, your opinion is appreciated. So I want to see that like, I want to see that comment, and I want to see that subscription. Until then, see you next time in my next video.